Forget college and start plumbing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I talk all the time about not going to college. Now, there's nothing wrong with going to college if you want to be maybe a doctor, a lawyer,
For sure.
an engineer, anything at all like that. But don't go to college just to figure out what you want to be when you grow up.
For sure.
Now, you talked about going to college. You actually thought about going to college. So today, as you see, I have Quina Johnson with me here, and we're going to talk about why you might want to get into the trades instead of going to college. Now, let's start off. Quina, where you know me from?
You were my teacher.
A teacher?
Yup. In the apprenticeship school, 5th year. You're my 5th year teacher.
Not a bad deal.
Mm-hmm.
And a good memory, too.
Yes. You taught lead.
I did. I taught like, man, it was like an advanced plumbing because I remember, man, there were toilets, there was lead AP, which I really think if you're in the trades, you should think about becoming. Such a great deal. Water conservation is a big deal.
Yes.
And that's a pretty good education. I mean, most people that are lead APs are architects and engineers. I remember I was at Brant.
Yes.
They did not want me to take the lead AP exam. They said, Roger, you'll never pass it. You're a plumber. This is a test for architects and engineers, designed by architects and engineers. And you know what? It was hard, but I did pass. So we're going to talk now about plumbing. Why is it that, and we're going to talk about most teachers, principals, counselors, people like that, even parents, most of them recommend their kids go to college or you're never going to amount to anything. Now, you had a lot of options coming out of high school. What different options were you looking at?
So I was looking into actually becoming a pharmacist.
Okay, so you're looking at college. That's one you would need a college degree for.
For sure. My counselors were really pushing me to go to college or university. Really heavy. My teachers were as well, because I love to learn. But I saw myself as learning for the rest of my life because I get so drawn into learning and growth that I would literally probably still be in school had I gone that route.
And you can still do that in plumbing. I literally, I have coaches, I have mentors, I have consultants. I am continuously learning. Matter of fact, I'm constantly looking for something else to learn that's going to help me grow. Yeah. But when it comes to being a plumber, well, you don't necessarily have to go to college to do that. So what made you choose plumbing?
I prayed about it. So basically, I literally wasn't sure which way to go. Like I said, I was receiving a lot of pressure. And so I prayed about it. And our Bible study that following week was talking about, hey, you don't necessarily have to go seek a higher education, but maybe you could seek a secular education, like get a trade or a vocational school. I didn't know what a vocational school was, so I prayed about that. And then the following Monday, literally, in my business class, because, you can get out of class early, the recruiter for the apprenticeship school came to our school and was talking about how trades were in demand in the next 10 years, that half of the plumbers will be retiring in the next 10 years and how we really needed plumbers. And if it was a earn while you learn, they teach you. You also get, you have to go to work as well. So, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, you don't have to go to college to be a plumber. Cool. That was, and then also they pay you to learn, literally. So I talked to my mom about it and she's like, oh, I'm all for it. And my dad was like, I don't have to pay for it. You go right ahead. And literally, as soon as I got out of high school, they called me when I graduated. And I had a job lined up for me the next week.
You started that right out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people do. A lot of people don't. Some want to go off and try different things. And some even try to go to college, realize they can't make it there, don't want to be there. Then they come back into the trades. Now, one thing that I talk about in the trades is it being such a prideful profession. Most really good tradespeople, and we've talked about the way you and I think, man, we want to take pride in our work. We want it to be perfect. We want it to be right. What do you think about the trades being that prideful?
I mean, I think it's all about having quality craftsmanship. You should take pride in what you do. It's important. I mean, one of my journeymen or teachers early on, what he told me was, hey, act like the walls are made of glass when you put in your work.
And, that's such a good way to look at it because I do. I take pride in every single thing I put in. And I love that, but it's the mentors that I had, the teachers that I had that helped me do things right. You went through the United Association training program, joined Apprentice Training Center.
Yes.
You were in the field for a couple of years before you got into safety.
Yes.
What kind of pranks were played on the job back then?
When I first got on, they were like, "Hey, go get me a pipe stretcher." And yeah, there's no such thing.
Sky hooks, pipe stretchers,
hooks,
all kinds of things.
Yeah, no such thing as any of those. But hey, I mean, I know I've learned this. If they give you a hard time, it's because they like you.
You bet. Okay, and normally I ask people, have you always been in the trades? Did you have any jobs while you were in high school?
Yeah, my first job, I worked for Albertsons.
Okay.
And then I worked for Wendy's, and I worked for TGI Fridays, actually, as a hostess for a little bit. That's it. Like, that was all in high school.
Now, we've talked about this in the podcast, but what kind of a mindset does it take going from being a plumber, or at the time you were safety engineer for a big mechanical contractor? What kind of a mindset does it take to go from that to opening your own plumbing company?
Well, first, not everybody is really created to have their own business.
That is true.
So you gotta have a want to. You have to have a growth mindset. You also have to be humble, because a lot of plumbers, or really a lot of people, aren't really taught how to start a business. You can even go to school or college and get an MBA. That doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to be an entrepreneur. They say most entrepreneurs didn't go to school or higher education, and I say about 21% of them are actually dyslexic. Like, there's literally stats on those that are actually C students versus your A students working for entrepreneurs. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's funny. I love the way you said it about the C students. I remember George Bush speaking at a college commencement, I think it was. He said, "But to all you C students out there, you too can become president of the United States." And I thought, man, that is so good, because you don't have to be smart to go to college. You don't have to be smart to get in the trades, but you're not the dumbest guy either. It's funny because people look at plumbers and they think, oh, they're not very smart. They're stupid. They're not worth what they charge. Are plumbers worth what they charge?
Absolutely.
Man, you get somebody who does that job right, that's amazing.
Absolutely. That's why they call you back.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're coming up towards the end of the school year. What would you recommend to somebody walking out of high school? Either their parents, their principals, counselors, somebody's told them, look, you've got to go to college, but they're not sure. What would you recommend to anybody right now graduating high school that's not sure what they want to do?
Trades. I mean, we need more tradespeople, especially if you like working with your hands. I mean, we need it. It cannot be a dying industry, because regardless of where you go, where you live, you are going to need a tradesperson, period. It will never die.
Tradespeople build and repair America every day. Every day.
Unless AI figures it out, that's a different situation.
That's completely different. So, Quina, you open your own company, Her Plumbing. Tell everybody how they can get in touch with you.
Follow me on Her Plumbing on Instagram, Her Plumbing on Facebook, herplumbingco.com if you want to go there. So, yeah. There
you go. Quina, great having you here today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And if you aren't sure if you want to go to college or get in the trades for a couple of years. Try to figure out if it's something you enjoy. It may save you a lot of money from going to college, because guess what? You start getting paid from the very beginning. Yep. And if you enjoyed this video, you're definitely going to like this one.